Good morning, everyone. It's been a while since I've been on here. I've been really busy. Busy designing, and we're going to be working on something new today. Valentine's is right around the corner, and I've created a really adorable insert for my interchangeable sign. I have a St. Patrick's Day one that I'll be painting. I have a St. Patrick's Day bench insert, Easter insert. I also have an interchangeable Easter sign insert for my sign. I have a couple other inserts that are going to go with a brand new design that I haven't released yet. This new design is absolutely adorable, and I think you're going to love it. And I'm working on something else, so I've been really busy. So let's go ahead and get started. I did change. Oh, thank you, honey. Thanks for letting me know. I did change the opening segment to my live. You'll have to let me know what you think about that. Those are the design, some of the designs that I have available now. The music my husband recorded. That's him playing. He recorded that over, 10 years ago when we were living in Florida. He's very talented, and I wanted to showcase his talent. So, if you're just joining me for the very first time, my name is Cindy. I am the owner, designer, creator of Elevated Designs. Hi, Ron. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Let me know, that you're here. Say hello. If you're going to watch this on replay, just type in hashtag replay. Let me know that you watched. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by painting this bear first. I don't like the brown colors that are available, so I'm going to do a little mixing to kind of create I want like a creamy beige, a little bit darker than that. Good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and mix some antique white and some honey brown. I kind of want like a medium brown is what I'm after. So something on the same lines as the color I used for the bear for my truck insert for the berry sweet one. So I'm just kind of looking for something lighter. Hi, Virginia. How are you? It's been a long time. Happy Thanksgiving. So I have a long weekend, and I plan on painting. So that's how I'm going to spend my weekend. I hope you'll join me when you have time available. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to use a makeup sponge and, just paint. Kind of want to be careful. I do have some engraving areas on this bear. So kind of watch getting paint in there. You just have to tap lightly. I'm out of sync. I haven't done this in so long. And you don't have to worry about painting here and here on the bear because we have hands and paws that's going to glue over top of that. All I'm going to do is paint right down to here, and then the heart will paint a different color. We were supposed to get some snow coming up this weekend. In some areas, they're going to get an accumulation. I'm glad it's not us. I'm not ready for it. It'll be interesting to see what kind of winter we have. We haven't had a bad one in the past few years. So, now if you happen to get paint in these scored areas, just dig them out. Yeah, I haven't painted in, it's been a couple months. It's been a while. I have about, I think, 10 new designs that I'm going to be releasing here shortly. And I will announce that on the business page. Now, the one design that I'm talking about, the interchangeable one that I have some inserts for, that is, it's going to be a big design, but it's also very intricate on how you put it together. And I'm in the midst of creating a video on how to put it together. And I will be putting that in the private group. So if you're a member of the private group, you'll have access to it. If you are not, you can always join. But one of the things for joining, you do have to answer the questions to get in. So that just keeps, spammers out and, undesirable people. I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook, and it seems like anymore, just a lot of spammers. And so I'm trying to keep that from happening. So I think what I'm gonna do, it's actually ended up being a little bit darker than what I wanted, that color, but I'm gonna still go with it. I'm gonna try highlighting that. Hello. Probably with a little antique white. Let's see how that works out. It might end up being a little bit too light. I won't know. So we will see. Is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? So I'm just going to go around the outside edges of the ears, just lighten them up a little bit. I'm going to be on here for a couple hours today, and I probably will come back on later today. I got some preparation for dinner for tomorrow. that I need to get started on, and then I will probably come back on sometime later today and continue painting. So I hope you join me. If not, hopefully you can find some time over the weekend to join me. So I'm just using antique white to highlight this bear. And I might have to go over it a couple times, because as you can see, once the paint dries, it starts kind of fading, and I do want it a little bit, the highlighting to be a little bit brighter than that. When it comes to shading and highlighting, I kind of mostly start with highlighting first, and then I go back and shade. I usually highlight 95% of the time first, and then, like I said, I come back and do the shading. And I'm thinking about maybe painting his muzzle the antique white as well. I don't know yet. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've painted. I do think that I'm gonna paint his, I think I'm gonna paint his muzzle. I think I want it lighter. I do know that I plan on painting the inside of his feet a lighter color, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this lighter. And it's going to take a couple coats because I'm going over this brown. And my paint is really watered down. And while that's drying, I need to paint the outside of his feet. And his hands. Probably I'll just use a sponge because I have a piece that's gonna be glued over top of that. So it doesn't matter if I get in the score lines. I want to wish my cousin Carol a happy birthday today. A happy belated birthday to my nephew Tyler and my niece Nicole. Their birthdays were last week. And wish all my family and friends a happy Thanksgiving. I have way too much water in my brush. I didn't break that bad habit while I've been gone. You definitely need water to move the paint around. I mean, that's just a must. But sometimes you can get too much water. While I'm at it, I'll paint those pads. The bear. So we have the big game this weekend, Ohio State versus Michigan. And we have lost the last 3 years in a row. Not good. But we have a pretty good team this year. And it is in Columbus. So I'm hoping they can pull off a win. That would be nice. Because it's been a long time coming. You can probably hear my dog barking in the background. The farm is pretty busy today. So we got a lot of people in and out, in and out. Probably something I should have done first is I probably should have shaded behind the muzzle. And I probably will go ahead and do that now. I think what I'll use is camel. I'll see how that works. Maybe I'll tell you what, I'm going to use the honey brown. It's just a little bit darker than the base color of this bear. Not much. I'm going to shade behind the ears. It's making a little bit of a difference, but not a whole lot. I might have to think about another color. I kind of wanted the bear a little bit lighter than what it is, but I don't like my shading and highlighting to be really bold anyways. That's not my thing. I'm just going to kind of go around the muzzle here just to give it a different color. Probably have to go back over it again. Then I'm going to want to go underneath its head. I think I am going to darken this up a little bit. I'm not really getting the look that I want. Maybe a little raw sienna. And you don't have to stick to one color when it comes to shading and highlighting. You can put one color down, a lighter color, and then go over it with a darker color. Just to create a little bit more interest. It has to be a personal preference. And I'm just very lightly touching the surface when I shade and highlight. And I'm really blending my paint. I'm not putting that much. I mean, there's a lot on there, way more than I should have. But I really take it over to my palette and blend it really, really well. Looking for that gradient effect. Oh, Gracie is just gonna bark all day. Yeah, it's a little bit better. And I might go back and highlight around his head a little bit more, just to brighten it up. Because I do want that highlighting to be a little bit more brighter. I'm actually running out of paint and water. And I'm just gonna emphasize the tips of his ears a little bit more. Still need another coat on there. Okay. Try one more coat. Try a different brush, I think. I'm definitely getting in my score lines. And then once all this dries, I'm going to go over this antique white. I'm going to highlight it with a little bit of buttermilk. And then shade behind this muzzle with some cocoa. You want to kind of dig your score marks out as quickly as you can, because the paint will dry in there. Okay. I might have to go over that one more time because that just doesn't want to cover very well. And that's what happens when you try and put a lighter color over top of something that's darker. that'll be good enough. So, while that's drying, what I think I'll try and do is highlight around the outside edges of the paws and the feet. I'm going to use the antique white. Just to lighten it. And the more I think about it, I'll wipe that off. Let me tell you why. Because I have a pretty thick, not thick, wide float. And the inside is going to be that antique white. So I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of go around this with the raw sienna. Make it darker. That way, the pads of the feet don't get lost. It's just changing the color just a little bit. I'm going to do that for the hands as well, just so it's consistent. And I didn't seal my pieces like I normally do. Okay. Get some buttermilk. I didn't blend that enough. feel about that highlight. Maybe it's not necessary. So I'm gonna I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's necessary. So I'm going to cover it up. I think I'm just going to leave that muzzle antique white. Now I will shade on it behind the heart, but yeah, I don't think I like the highlighting on there. And you don't have to highlight and shade every piece there is. You could over highlight and shade. But it has to be a personal preference. But yeah, I don't think I like that. Mm-mm. And I think when it comes to the paws, the feet rather, I'm just gonna highlight around the top. I ended up getting a piece of hair on there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and paint that heart. I'm gonna use my go-to color that I like to use, and that's my country red. And I'm not gonna worry about getting paint down here where the feet and paws are, because that I'm going to cover that up. So you definitely want to be careful of the lettering. I better watch my fingers because I do have paint on them. Just kind of go lightly over those areas. And you can go back and add more, but just kind of tread lightly. Because if you get them in those engraved areas, it's tough to get them out. what I like to do is, you know, dip my sponge into the paint and then tap it off. And then just tap very lightly over top of those areas. Trying to keep my sponge as flat as possible to keep them from going in those particular spots. And the red is a hard color to coat, so it's going to take you a couple coats to get good coverage on the red. All right. I'm going to take some cocoa and shade behind that heart on the muzzle. And my water is filthy, filthy, filthy. So before I go on to anything else, I will have to be emptying out my water because all the other light pieces I'm going to be doing are going to be kind of light. I empty my water several times when I'm painting It's just a good habit to get into, especially if you're going to shade and highlight. The key is to have clean, cold water. If you don't, you're going to end up taking your dirty water and it's going to end up getting into your float and floating onto the surface of whatever it is that you're shading or highlighting, and you'll see it. And you won't end up with the results that you're after. So you will see me take numerous breaks throughout my lives and empty my water. While I'm at it, I might as well paint the eyes and the nose of this bear. This might actually be too big of a brush. You will see. And I like to turn it as I'm painting the eyes, and I just kind of spread the paint out by pushing it with my brush out to the edges. Hopefully you're able to see. And it doesn't take a whole lot of paint. But just start by putting the paint on your brush, you're putting it in the middle. And then just tapping your brush out towards the score lines. And what that does is it moves the paint out that way. That's what works for me. Kind of keeps me from having oops moments. And I have to paint these little red hearts. I forgot about that. Those get glued on to the feet. I'm about almost done with this bear. I didn't think it would take that long. All right. I think what I'll do, well, no, I'll do it first. I'm going to highlight just the top of this heart around the curve, and then also the top of the hearts on the pad. I'm going to use Neon Fiery Red. This is a very bright color, so you want to apply it sparingly. I'm just going to kind of walk that down a little bit to make it a little bit wider. Just trying to emphasize a little highlight on that heart. And it looks like there's something on my piece of wood. I'm gonna get a different brush. I should have waited for that to dry, and I did not. So I'm getting that harsh line, and I don't like a harsh line. So if you end up with a float of highlighting or shading that you don't like, go back over it with your base color. And it'll calm it down. Just gonna highlight the tips of these just to brighten them up a little bit. Give them a little bit of extra color. Just kind of getting in a hurry with my painting, which is not something I do. Okay, we'll let that dry pretty good. Now I will, I think I'll highlight out in here and at the bottom as well. So, while that red's drying, I'll go ahead and do those areas. Just kind of walking the float over to make it a little bit wider. I really didn't let my paint dry. So we'll just let that dry really, really good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and shade the heart under where the paw and feet will go. Okay, I think the black is dry pretty good. So I'm going to take a very small stylus because the eyes are so tiny, and I want to dot the eyes. When you're doing using your stylus, you want to make sure your paint is fresh. So always, you know, start out with fresh paint when doing that. I just want a little bit more highlight. I got these brushes at Hobby Lobby. And I'll tell you what, I really like it. It's really doing a nice job. So I think I might be buying some more of their brushes. Okay. pieces out here. Yeah, I just want to do a little shading. I want to make sure that I have the right hand wear, because one is smaller than the other. Because I want to do a little shading. So I'm going to create me a little sheet line. Because I don't like to glue my pieces on and then shade and highlight around it. That's just me. Some people do that. I don't. Because I really don't want to get paint all over my glued pieces. So that's why I don't do that. I mean, you can if you want. It's just not me. And I might have to go back over these pieces because this is a water soluble thing, and it will get rid of these lines. Hello. So I'm going to use black plum. And what I will tell you about the black plum, it's dark. So you want to put this on very sparingly. You want to definitely blend your paint. Have it watered down. Build with this color when it comes to shading. Because it will get away from you if you're not careful. I mean, that's a lot of paint that I have on there, but I'm going to really blend it. And I have it watered down. I'm just kind of looking for, like, a subtle darkness. That's going to go behind this heart. Nothing major. Just a little contrast. And while I'm at it, and I probably should have done it when I was on the board, I'm going to just go ahead and just go the tips of these hearts. Just lightly, just to add a little color. Just changes it up a little bit. All right. Well, while that's doing that, I think I'll start gluing. I like to use stick fast glue. And because these pieces are so tiny, I prefer to apply them with a Q-tip. That's just me. I just think it's easier. So I'll start off by doing these hearts first. I'm just going to dip it into my little glob of goo and then tap it off and then just put it on the area and just press down on it. And then we'll glue these pads to the feet. And a little bit of this glue goes a long way. You don't need a whole lot of glue. Because you want to kind of be careful if you're putting a lot of glue on there. When you go to set it down and press on it, it will slide on you. Hey Beth, how are ya? Oh, and that slid. That slid just a little bit. So we'll try it again. All right. Okay. Then we'll just go ahead and glue these. Probably should have glued my hands on first. Okay. I think I need to fix these paws. So, I will be back. I need to empty my water and I will be back. I hope you stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. Something I realized when I was trying to glue this together, that I didn't do the right job on this particular foot. It's supposed to be all one piece. So I went ahead and recut it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shade that real quick, go all around it, and then we can finish this up. I did a dirly. I don't like doing a dirly. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna get my raw sienna out and shade around these paws, the feet I mean rather. Then we'll get this wrapped up and we'll move on to another element. And then I'm gonna probably call it quits for this segment and come back on later on today after I get my stuff done that I need to get done. Yeah, I really like those brushes from Hobby Lobby. Hello. Never really bought any brushes to float shading or highlighting with from there. Usually just stick with Dynasty brushes, but these are some nice brushes. So I'm just going to highlight the tip of that just to separate those two pieces. I'll go around this hand a little bit more because I could use a little bit more darkening. It's easy to make mistakes. But that's what it'll look like when it's all glued together. Then I gotta glue the nose on. So. Go ahead and put a little bit of stick fast out on this napkin. And get these glued. Hello. That's actually too much glue. It doesn't take. Hey, Deanna, how are you? It's not the weekend, but I got a long weekend. So I'm going to be painting. Got a lot of new designs that I've created. A lot. So I'm going to be on here probably maybe another hour. Then I got to take a break and get my cooking started for Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to be back on later to continue painting. I hope you've been okay. I love that photo you posted. All right, get his nose. And then this little bear is done. Okay, he is done, hiccups and all. So that will be one. So we'll move on to the next piece. Oh, you were somewhere sunny, or it was sunny where you are? Oh, nice. Good for you. Good for you. Never been there, but I know a lot of people that have and just absolutely love it. Okay. What I'm going to do is, when it comes to painting, I kind of like to start with the furthest thing back and work my way to the front. So I'm actually, even though this envelope is a little bit further, I'm going to kind of start with this part that has the heart on it. I'm actually going to paint that a warm white. I'm going to try and use my sponge. Yeah, I'm off today, tomorrow, of course, because it's Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving. And they give us Friday off, and then, of course, I'm off on the weekend. So I'm taking advantage of this time off. So I'm going to be painting, painting, painting. I'm working on a Valentine's Day insert for my interchangeable sign. And I have some St. Patrick's Day stuff, some Easter stuff. And then I created a new design that's interchangeable. And I'll be working on the inserts for that. And then I'll show you what it goes in once those inserts are done. It's pretty cool. And then I'm working on another interchangeable. Interchangeables are in for some reason. Everyone likes them. I like them too. But everybody likes the interchangeable stuff. So I find myself trying to create interchangeables. Two weeks in Mexico. Boy, oh boy, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. That's nice. Have you gotten any snow where you live yet? We had some snow. It was last week. It snowed one day, and we're supposed to get some snow this weekend. In some areas, they're talking 8 inches. Where I'm at, maybe 2. And the temperatures are going to be pretty cold, in the 20s. Good time to stay in and paint. Oh, you're lucky. So obviously where you are, they don't have anything called lake effect snow. Because I know Cleveland and some areas close to Lake Erie can get really pounded with snow. And they always refer to it as lake effect snow. I mean, they get hit the hardest. Every now and again, that lake effect snow kind of travels down to me, but not as bad as those people. I mean, I wouldn't want to live up, well, I wouldn't live in Cleveland for free rent. Not my cup of tea at all. Cleveland does not interest me. I'll just stick to living out in the country. Even though that's getting a little ridiculous anymore. I don't know if any area is safe anymore to live with the way things are. There's a lot of people stealing stuff out around here. Four-wheelers and bikes, and there was a high-speed chase last night, and just it's crazy. Crazy how the world has changed. It's definitely a lot like it was when I was growing up. My nephew's home for Thanksgiving. He lives in Australia. He's been living there for the last couple of years. And he absolutely loves it. And I don't think he'll ever move back. Alright, let that dry a little bit, because white, you always got to do a couple coats. It gets pretty blotchy. No. No. Nope. I guess it's a 16-hour flight from what my sister said. Holy smokes. I can't even imagine. And he's struggling with the time change because we just turned our clocks back. Their clocks got turned ahead. I think they're in summer mode right now, where we're kind of in, winter mode. But, and then, yeah, I didn't like Florida because of the critters. I did not like alligators at all. And Australia's got crocodiles. No, thank you. No. That does not interest me. Mm. And I'm not big about flying anyhow, Deanna. So... So are you ready for Thanksgiving, Deanna? It's just my husband and I, and we've been cooking Thanksgiving dinner for 30 plus years. Oh, interesting. I wonder, so that's a whole month in front of us. Now, do you have other holidays that are different at different times than us? Like, I mean, do you celebrate July 4th? And is it July 4th? And what else? I'm using baby blush on this envelope. Really? Huh. Okay, I have to ask. Is Christmas December 25th? And do you celebrate New Year's? And is that January 1st? Interesting. Now this particular sign, my whole plan is I kind of want to stick with pinks, whites, reds, and purples for this sign insert. That's my plan. So various shades of pink. Ah, okay. All right, is it standard for you folks during Thanksgiving to do a turkey? I mean, is that what everyone does? I think it's neat how other countries celebrate things at different times. It's interesting. I was never a big, I don't know if that would be under history in high school. I was never a big history person. I was more into art and music. That's kind of what I was more geared to. Then I took business classes once I hit my junior year. So history was out. Oh, cool. Okay. I have to say, I think Thanksgiving dinner is probably my favorite holiday dinner. And then after that would probably have to be New Year's because I make stuffed cabbages. Here we call them pigs in a blanket. I'm not a ham person. I just, ugh. So this year, my husband and I are gonna do something completely off the wall for Christmas, and we're not doing a ham. Nope. Because I always make a lot of stuffed cabbages. A lot. And then I freeze them, and we eat them throughout the year. And my stuffed cabbages are not little puny things. They're as big as your fist, if not bigger. Go big or go home. But my husband and I split the cooking duties. We always have. He's in charge of the turkey, getting it prepared. I make the stuffing. He stuffs the turkey, bakes it. I peel the potatoes and mash them. He carves the turkey, and I make the gravy. And then he makes the candy yams. We've been doing it like that for 30 plus years. And it just works. We got a system down and it just works. Now, if I didn't say, I'm using baby blush as my pink to paint this envelope. Warm white for the card. Now, will you do ham for Christmas, Deanna? And do you guys do stuffed cabbages for, stuffed cabbages and sauerkraut for New Year's? I remember when my aunt and uncle used to make sauerkraut. Oof. You want to talk about, they would soak their heads of cabbage. Ay, 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 boy, the smell. Ugh. I love sauerkraut. No, a Whopper. Okay. With cheese. Boring, I know. Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, honey, be careful. Oh. That makes sense. I don't blame you. Well, this year for Christmas, and I haven't made it in a long time, we're having what they call chicken paprikash. It's Hungarian, I believe, and it's very simple. It's inexpensive. It's a very filling dinner, and like I said, I don't care for ham. And you're gonna spend $30 on a ham. I'd rather spend all my money making my my stuffed cabbages because I make a ton. And I always, when I make my stuffed cabbages, I make sausage and ground beef, and it's a big to-do. So we decided to not do the whole ham thing. And we're gonna do that, and it's a very rich, filling dinner and very easy to make. All right. I have to just a little bit more white up here. All right, I'm gonna take and paint that heart red. I'm gonna use the country red. You'll have to let me know, Deanna, I redid the opening of going live. I have different music. It's actually my husband, believe it or not, playing. It's a song he wrote, 10 years ago. And changed my photos. So you'll have to let me know what your thoughts are. I don't even know what time it is. 1:15. I don't even know how long I've been on here. So I know I have to go pretty soon because I got to get my vegetables cut up for my stuffing. I always like to do that the day before and cook them. Start sauteing them. Saute them till they're about al dente, and then finish them off the next morning. just less work you have to do the day of. Whoa, that's too much paint. Alright, how long have I been on here? Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. Alright. Believe it or not, the highlighting color for this baby blush is warm white. So I'm just going to go around the outside edges. You can hardly see that. Go over it again. What's nice about this is if you have an oops moment, because I painted that little card, the warm white, I can just kind of do my highlighting right into it. Yeah, you can barely see that white. Okay. I think I'm going to use sand gray to shade this little card. I really like that color for shading the warm white. And I wasn't gonna do this, but I think I'm going to after this dries. I think I'm gonna try and shade behind that heart. I was just gonna let that go, but I really like the color of this. So I don't know. We'll see after I start doing the other stuff. All right, I'm going to start shading this envelope, and the color I'm going to use is Cactus Flower. That was a little bit more than what I really wanted. There. It's better. Oops. I'm just going to keep hitting that heart. I don't know. Alright. Kind of feel that that heart needs, I don't know, that it's real blotchy right in here. I do think that I'm going to put some gray around this heart. I think that's just going to help make it stand out a little bit more. And I got it on the heart. So I'll just have to wipe that off or cover it up with paint. And I think I'll cover it up with paint. It'll probably be easier. I'm probably going to go around it again. I do think just wanted that a little bit brighter. All right. I realize I'm not in camera. I have a tendency to pull my pieces towards me when I'm painting and forget that I'm off screen. So I apologize. Bad habit. Hello. All right, I think I'm going to highlight just the top of that heart a little bit, just to brighten it up a little bit. Not a whole lot. Then I'm going to shade behind it, down here behind the envelope. And then this piece is actually, I'm gonna say it's good. Just want a little bit of different color there. And then I think I'm gonna call this good. And then I'm gonna come back on later and continue on. It probably won't be for a couple hours, maybe early evening. Before I come back on. But I think that's good. I like the colors. It's different. I might, let me try and do it now. I'm going to do a little dry brushing, I think. Up here. Just to brighten that up just a titch more. And I didn't do a good job wiping off my paint. All right, good enough. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna call it quits for now and come back later and finish the other two elements, start on those. So this is what we've got done so far. I mean, this is a heart theme. It's Valentine's Day, it's heart theme. So these are the other two elements we're gonna have to paint. So these will be my 4 squares. And I definitely I need to throw some purple in here somewhere. I'll make that a red heart, and I think I'll do purple lettering on that. And I think I'll make this back heart probably purple. So, with that being said, thank you, Deanna, for stopping in. Hopefully you come back when I come back on. Like I said, I'll be here. I'm going to be painting. I got a lot to paint. I've created at least close to a dozen designs. So I've got a lot of painting to get done so I can post photos of the finished product. So, all right. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.